Washington Heights by Lou Diamond. Narrated by Fritz Angelo and Queenie Walsh. Forwards. This book speaks about drugs, sex, and murder in the underground world of Washington Heights. It features adult content that may not be suitable for all readers. Reader discretion is advised. The characters, names, places, and incidents are all fiction. Work of Lou Diamond.
Chapter 1. After a long, hard day yesterday, I have to admit waking up this morning was not easy. My back hurts and my body is extremely sore. Shit, this nigga twin was a beast with me. As soon as we got to the hotel, he did not waste any time ripping my clothes off, like the true animal he was. Yesterday afternoon, around 2:30, Twin called me asking me for a huge favor. He asked could I please pick up a package from 177th Street and Ward Sword containing an ounce of weed and a box of Dutch Masters. He also told me he would be picking me up at my sister's block on 184th Street and St. Nicholas later that afternoon and to be ready for him with no excuses. I hesitated for a minute because I was surprised at his demand. I did not know what to say. I thought it was strange that Twin would ask me, lady, to do him that favor and pick up that package for him. I told myself, fuck it, and did as asked, rushing to go pick it up. I guess Twin is beginning to trust me a little more, which makes me incredibly happy. Later that afternoon, I was in front of my sister's building, enjoying a cold one with some of my friends and sisters while anxiously waiting for him. Everyone was outside doing the usual routine. Some were playing dominoes, in the street sitting on top of the milk crates while drinking Freddy Emperor nutcrackers. Others were showing off their dirt bikes and four-wheelers doing donuts in the middle of the block, while watching out for the little ones who were playing in the water pump because it was too hot outside. A few were standing on their corners selling weed and disrespecting every female who passed by. The old ladies were looking outside their windows and gossiping with each other. Everyone suddenly stopped what they were doing as they noticed Twin pulling up the block. They were all mesmerized by his white-on-white chromed-out Maserati Gran Turismo convertible. It was the hottest car anyone had ever seen in my sister's neighborhood. It gave me a sense of pride to know that the car everyone was admiring was there to pick me up. Being raised by a single mother who raised three girls on her own, had multiple jobs, but still managed to come home to cook us a warm meal every day and help us with our homework, taught me a valuable life lesson. I saw many struggles my mother encountered trying to give us a better life and education. It made me promise myself that I needed to do everything in my power to have a better life and not have to work as hard as my mother has had to throughout her life. I love my mother to death, but she is such a traditional individual, it drove me crazy majority of the time. She feels strongly about following her Dominican roots. This is not a bad thing, but when it involves me, I have a big problem with it. For instance, as her firstborn daughter, she blessed me or cursed me by naming me Maria Alina Gonzalez Martinez. I hate my name with a passion. It is such a typical Latina name. I am too unique of an individual for such a common name. I prefer to be called Lady. So, who is this asshole twin? He's a muscular, medium-sized, dark-skinned guy who weighs about 250 pounds and stands 6'5" to be exact. He has big, light brown eyes and a low-cut Caesar haircut. He has beautiful, full lips that nearly every woman wants to kiss. A simple personality description: big boss attitude. Me, on the other hand, I am 5'9" and only 23 years old. I have the best looking, athletic, long legs with a to die for slim waist. I have the perkiest breasts that any man would be eager to suck and every woman would die to have. My skin is perfectly tan, which complements my hazel eyes and long wavy brown hair. Shit. I know I am the shit. Twin accumulated his first million trafficking that raw coke from Mexico. Not that bullshit they sell on the streets, but that good stuff that will numb your face with only one blow. Word on the streets is that he has about 100 kilos of uncut pure coke stashed in his mansion somewhere in New Jersey. I am so getting that. When Twin picked me up, I wanted to make sure he noticed me. So, I wore my favorite Christian Dior skinny jeans with my Dolce& and Gabbana wife beater and my Prada creme color stilettos. Damn, I was looking good. As soon as he parked, I immediately noticed his big smile. He got out of his car and opened the door for me, like a true gentleman would. His actions differentiated him from the other assholes out there. I was happy being the talk of the town and that every girl there wanted to be in my shoes. As we rolled out, I put on my seatbelt and started cracking open the Dutch. I gave it one twist and one lick, looking back and forth for the police before blazing it. Shit. When I took that first puff, I coughed my lungs out, Twin joked. Damn, girl, puff, puff, pass. With a big ass cheesy grin on his face, flaunting his perfect teeth and immediately grabbing the Dutch out of my hands. He was driving so fast on the FDR drive that we got to 63rd Street literally in less than 10 minutes. I am sure he was going at least 120 miles per hour. He made a left towards 62nd Street to valet park his car and handed his keys to some guy. To my surprise, Twin had a master suite waiting for us at the top floor of the Bentley Hotel. The suite was so beautiful and elegant with black, white, and gold decor, like the type from the movies. It came with a king-size bed with fretted Italian linens, a down duvet, and beautiful leather headboard. The suite had a separate living room with leather furnishing and a 52-inch LCD TV. It also had a minibar, a to-die-for desk, and an in-room safe. Best of all, it had the most beautiful bathroom any human being could wish for, with floors made of marble, stocked with C.O. Bigelow toiletries. The tub had a jacuzzi in it too. I was definitely going to try that before I left the suite. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the breathtaking view of the skyline overviewing the city of New York. I was in heaven. I could get used to this lifestyle very quickly. Twin had incredibly good taste if this was the way he treated his hoes. This place was the bomb, and that made me feel special. He had me confused for a second because of the way he was treating me. Does he like me? Is he feeling me? Then I shook my head and told myself, hell no. All these drug dealers are the same. They want to pamper you at the beginning and treat you like a queen, then they will fuck you over and their true colors come out. I put on my game face, immediately remembering that people gotta eat. My girls are counting on me to execute this job. I cannot mix business with pleasure, I reminded myself. Twin did not waste any time. He immediately came in to kiss me, and to be honest with you, I could not resist it. The intensity of our tongues massaging each other had me soaked and had my pussy wet all over. When he tried catching his breath, I grabbed him and started sensually seducing him. Touching myself exotically, I had him hypnotized. He watched me as he sat down on the bed and started rolling another Dutch. I did not want any. I was too high already to blaze again and be functional. The weed that we smoked earlier had me going, and I had to stay focused to execute my job. So I pushed him to the bed where I quickly lost control as he took over. He grabbed me and roughly threw me against the wall. I immediately thought he was going to kill me. You like it rough, bitch? Twin asked with an evil grin on his face. His big ass hands pressed my face to the wall with a blow that almost took my head off, followed by him ripping off my wife beater, breaking the buttons of my pants, and using his teeth to break my silky white thongs. He was so rough with me, a wild beast would have been gentler. He was acting as if this was going to be the last time he was going to get some good pussy. He ate me though like no other nigga ever did it before. I even squirted in his face multiple times. It was the most wonderful feeling ever. Thinking we were going to take a break, this nigga did not waste any time and immediately flipped me over, positioning me on all fours. He roughly pulled out his big ass dick and stuck it in my ass without any mercy or KY jelly. He was fucking me harder and harder execution style. My ass ripped open as if I was giving birth. I felt the blood come from my asshole. It was the most horrible feeling I had ever experienced. while still getting fucked roughly in the ass, getting violated in every way, shape, and form. Twin managed to pull out his bloody dick and kneel me to a prayer position. He then placed his dick in my mouth, demanding me to swallow his cum, while grabbing my hair so none of it could spill on the floor. I had no choice but to do it. I even smiled at him as if I was enjoying that nasty shit. I kept having to remind myself that I was a professional. I had a job to do, and this is just some of the nasty shit I had to do for our goal. Shit. At least I'm not selling my pussy like some of those cheap hoes be doing with no cause. They humiliate themselves for some Grey Goose bottles and some cash so they can buy some Louis Vuitton bags. Not even the real ones, I might add. I'm talking about the fake ones that you get in Chinatown for less than $100. Once Twin finished, he quickly passed out. He disappointed me. I thought he was different, humble, and a real gentleman. I was wrong. I should have known better. After this, I couldn't help but think about how I'm going to feel extremely uncomfortable around him. Even though I've only known him for 2 weeks, I was impressed by him. I first noticed him one day at La Marina. I was there with the irresistible girls, the girls from my group. It was love at first sight. I was immediately attracted to his flamboyant style, and his big light brown eyes sparked up the place from afar. I was hypnotized and drawn to him. I remember the night like it was yesterday. My girlfriends and I were looking for a new job, the next person we were going to break. We were having a blast. Being the baller that Twin was, he sent my girls and me 5 bottles of Ace of Spades to our table. Expensive bottles, I might add, as well as executive chef Calvin Fernandez to specially deliver his winning masterpiece dish of crispy arepa with steak lime infused sour cream, creamy guacamole, pico de gallo, and cotija cheese. It was so delicious. We were indifferent yet flirtatious at the same time with him. We were not sure if he was the one. There were other good candidates that night as well, but something about him made him stand out from the rest. Twin wanted to meet the 5 good-looking females, so he sent someone to our table to invite us to join him at his. You know we could not decline. We stood up and walked to his table and thanked him in person for the bottles and the meal he sent us earlier. That is when things lined up and started looking good for us. We found our target. Apparently, he was this big time drug dealer who supplied the Dominicans in the Washington Heights area with kilos of coke. Being a typical baller, after providing some bottles and meals to us, he then wanted to take us to the motel that same night and fuck the shit out of us. We knew better than that. We respectfully said no, even though I was craving for a little taste of those juicy lips. I had to remind myself to play hard to get so that I could keep my respect and earn his, because it pays off more at the end. I had already learned my lesson in the past. It happened to me on my first job, a dude from BA. From being so easy, he took me to the motel, just fucked me, and left me there like if I was a cheap ass hoe. After Twin had fucked the shit out of me, literally, and passed out, I managed to get up from the floor and headed to the great bathtub with the jacuzzi in it. I promised myself that by the end of next week tops, I would get him to take me to New Jersey. Then I will end this asshole.